Hey, what's up? It's awesome to see you, and here I am again. I've gone and forgotten my laptop again. We'll get better at this, I promise. So people, this is all about picking your book idea because, oh my goodness, how important is that? And I don't know, I'm going to be talking about not just picking your book idea, but actually knowing if it's the right one, because this is one of those things that totally stumps people, and I don't want it to stump you. Now, if you are here and if you can see me and hear me, then say hi, drop a thumbs up or a heart and tell me that you are, here we go, here I am. Tell me that you're here because I want to hear you. I want to see you. Now, this is me doing the multitasking thing of sharing this jolly video to the group so that everyone in the group can also see it. But if you are watching this as the, if you are watching this in the replay, welcome. And today it is all about picking your topic. And okay. How exciting. This is the world of live streaming. So like I said, it is definitely one of those things that when I'm talking with people, with the people I'm coaching, it's the thing that probably stumps people the most. So how to know if it's the right book topic. And I spoke yesterday about needing to be passionate about it, and that is definitely hugely part of it. You've got to be passionate, otherwise you will run out of steam and it won't come through in your book. But how, especially if you are anything like me and you've got like 10 book ideas in there, how do you pick the right one? How do you know if the topic that you're going to write your book on is the right topic? Okay, so I've got some really cool ways of kind of working this out, and I'm going to go through some of them with you now. Okay, so how to work out if it is the right topic. Look, I guess at the end of the day, the easy answer is there's no right or wrong. There is no, you can't really get this wrong. So what you can do, however, is get it wrong for now. So if this is your first book, then I suggest you do the easiest thing possible. You do the thing that you could write in your sleep. Do the thing that is just going to flow out of you. Now, I've got a very good reason for that. If it is your first book, there's a learning curve. Obviously, there's a lot, everything you've got to learn from the actual discipline of the writing right through to the kind of practical aspects of finding an editor and a cover designer and formatting and and all that stuff. It's all new. Now, like anything that you do, by the time you've done it the first time, the second time it's a little bit easier. Some of those things are, you go, oh, that was really easy and I stressed so much about it, or that was quite hard, I need to put a little bit more time aside for it. All that kind of thing becomes it's something that you can plan for. So by the time you've done it a couple of times, absolutely, you are going to be far less, I don't know, stressed, or it's just going to be easier. It's obvious. So that is a really good reason for making sure that that first book that you write is the easiest one, because everything will be the most difficult it's ever going to be. Not that it's that difficult, but because it's the first time, it will be more difficult. It just stands to reason, right? So, because it's going to be more difficult, you want to give yourself as much support as possible and choose the easy topics. So that's number one. Choose the topic that is easiest, and that is not necessarily, and here's a big aha for maybe some people, it's not necessarily going to be the one that you really, really want to write. In fact, this sort of comes on to my second one, which is don't write the thing that you really, really, really want to write first. Okay, what do we mean by that? And this is hard. This is hard because I guess people often think of writing a book as being a single thing that happens once, and maybe it will be, and maybe you have a very specific plan, which is that you publish a single book and that is the book. But I guess I don't recommend that. I recommend that you write a few books because it's a process and you get better with each one. So if that very first book that you write is the only book you're going to write, it has a lot of pressure riding on it, and that's okay too, but it's way better to just hammer out a book that is going to be good, but not necessarily the ultimate book that you could ever have written. So do that, and then write your next book, which is perhaps a bit more of the thing that is, that you really, really, really want to write about, which maybe you put a little bit more. You're always going to put heart and soul into it, but what can I say? It's a little bit more on the thing that you I guess that you've got more writing on it. It's hard to say. Let me use my own books as an example. Probably the book I'm writing now is the one that is most aligned. No, that's not even right. The one I'm writing now is the one that is where I'm really telling my all. Okay, let me go back. The first book that I wrote was super easy to write, and I was passionate about it. I always recommend you've got to be passionate about it to kind of see it through. But it was so easy to write because it was a book of stuff that I'd been doing for 20 years, and it definitely was going to be an easy book to write. So I'm so glad I wrote that book first. The next book I wrote, which was a bit more about my philosophy around health and healing, in a lot of ways was probably more aligned or more about what I want to get out. And it was harder to write than the first one, simply because it was more current. Now the book I'm writing now is even going deeper into that. So I guess each time I've peeled back another layer, and if I had have tried to write the book I'm writing now, if I had tried to write that first, it would have been a lot harder. So that is kind of my message today is those two things that I said. First of all, choose the book that's easiest, and second of all, choose the book that's easiest, but just said in a different way. I hope I haven't confused you too much today, but basically I have got some really good systems for how to do this, and we are going to be going through those in the 30-day author boot camp, which I know you need to be there. If you are thinking about it, it all kicks off on Friday, so you want to join in. I am really making this super actionable. I'm going to make it so that you will have your first draft written. If you've got an idea for a book, off you go. Hit the ground running. If you don't even have an idea for a book, we're going to have you covered. So this is really going to be distilling all of the information I know and spreading it out over 30 days. I'm going to be bringing in I'm going to have not only my author hat on, I'm also going to have my copywriter's hat on. And the way that hat, I don't see many authors, in fact, I don't see any authors out there doing this. When you have that copywriting hat on, copywriters are people who are hired to write advertisements and to sell things. The whole purpose of a copywriter is to turn words into gold, to make money, to convert people, to persuade people to take a certain action. Now, if you bring that mentality to writing a book, it changes the whole thrust of it. And it means that you can write a book that is heartfelt, that is heart-centered, that is going to share your message, that is going to connect with your people, but you do it in a way that they're going to take action and buy it, because you could have the best book with the most fantastic content that is so valuable, but unless you apply these copywriting principles that I'm going to be going through in the boot camp, unless you apply these principles, people aren't even going to find your book. So they'll never read it, so they'll never get the information. I mean, that's just the way it works in the big wide world out there. We have to play the Amazon game. We have to play the Amazon game. And because I am a copywriter, I know the tricks of the trade, and I know how to apply them to being an author. And it doesn't happen after the book is written. It happens before the book is written. This is all pre-work. People think about marketing as something that happens after. No, 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 no. I'm here to dispel that myth. It's something that happens before and during and after. And it's built into the very fabric of your book. And that's exciting, because most authors hate the idea of marketing. They think it's like a dirty word. They think it's something that they can't do, or they're going to fail at, or it's not their shtick, you know. I'm here to tell you that it's just having the same goal, the same end result, but taking a slight step to the left or the right and looking at it from a slightly different perspective. And you know what the perspective you're looking at it from? You're looking at it from the perspective of your reader. So you are actually going to connect more. That is actually what really good copywriting does. It connects really beautifully. It fits like a lock and a key with the ideal reader, with its target audience. You know, if you're selling something like Coke or McDonald's, well, good luck to you. And obviously you are, you're going to be it's still employing the same methods, though. You see, this is the thing. If you can connect with your target audience, you can sell the McDonald's or Coke or whatever, but we want to sell them our book, our message. That is what we're doing it for. So I hope that was useful. If you've missed this, then just go back and watch it from the beginning. Yes, I am babbling on a little bit, but I think the message itself is really, really important. And if you enjoyed this, then please share this. You'll share it from the business page with some of your friends or fellow authors who may get some benefit from it. But more than anything, join me for the 30-day author bootcamp. That's where I want to see you, because that's where I'm going to be sharing my best juicy stuff on how to use conversion copywriting to become an author that writes a book that sells. Because the world needs your story. So right now, bye.